world. But back thousands and thousands of years, a tiny, tiny few people, indeed interbreeding genetic bloodlines, have controlled, entered the positions of power and have orchestrated what we call history. So that wherever you look, increasingly as we've created the technology to become a global society, increasingly this tiny little clique, the tribe or the brotherhood as I call them, have been able to orchestrate the major events and therefore the direction of the world on a global scale, and a scale that beggars belief. What I've already said is staggering to the perception of life that most people have, that we're encouraged to have, that we are programmed to have. And I feel a bit like the cow who walks in the field, and you've got the herd of cows in the field there, and they're munching away, and their reality is that every now and again the big truck comes and it takes a few of them away, and wherever they think they go, I don't know, another field, on holiday, whatever. And then this other cow comes into the field and says, hey, you got to listen, or you won't believe what I've just found out. You know when they put them, those cows and some of us in that truck, and they take us away every now and again, they're not taking us to another field or on vacation. What they do is they take you down to this big building, and they slit their throats and they bleed them dry, and then they cut them up and they hang them on hooks, and then they put them in little packages and put it in the supermarket, and then them humans come along and buy us and eat us. What would be the reaction of the rest of the herd on hearing this information? You're crazy, man. You're out of your brain. You want to go and see a psychiatrist. They'd never do that. This is ridiculous. And anyway, I've got shares in that trucking company and I get a good return. Shut up, you're making waves. And yet, all the things that I have just said are absolutely true. It's just that the herd will not believe them. And what's happening now as we unfold across the millennium and beyond, and the perception of life dramatically changes. What in the past would have been considered ridiculous, extreme, and nonsense is increasingly, through documented evidence, not from some theory, being confirmed as true. A very, very few people run this planet and control your life. And yet you have the power to control your life. You just give it away. And that's the point. When I talk about a few people running the world, understandably people come back and they say, well, it's not possible, mate. Can't be done. Too many people. And it can't be done by physical means, by soldiers at the door and soldiers in the street. You can do that in a small area, but you cannot control billions of people physically, just like you can't control a herd of sheep or a herd of pigs physically if they don't want to be controlled. In England, a little while ago, we had a remarkable example of that, in the sense that two pigs actually escaped from a slaughterhouse. They were just about to go through all that stuff I've just been talking about, and they got away. What they said was, instead of just following the herd and just accepting that that's what you do, they thought for themselves. They expressed their uniqueness. They broke out of the herd. And they ran away. And this became a major national news story day after day after day, because all these different people and agencies were dispatched to catch the two pigs, and they couldn't catch them for days and days and days, because they were trying to catch them physically. And because those pigs expressed their uniqueness, far from going to the slaughterhouse, they became national celebrities and are now wheeled out at galas and fetes and other events as one of the star attractions. Shows what you can do when you express your uniqueness instead of following the herd. The point I'm making here, however, is that you can't control lots of people physically, but you don't have to. What you do is you manipulate the way they think and the way they feel so they behave in the way you want them to. Mind and emotional manipulation. Summed up and symbolized by this.